All right, hot potato assignment, Sphero assignment number 4. Essentially, we want to go through, we want to create a game of hot potato to last anywhere between 20 to 60 seconds. If there are more than 15 seconds left in the game, the hot potato should be one color. Once there is less than 15 seconds but more than 5 seconds, it should be another color. And the last 5 seconds should count down and then tell us the game is over. So we're going to need a couple variables for this one. Let me get rid of that. For this one, we'll need the game length is what I'm going to call it. And we'll set it to a number. And we'll set it to, just for right now, I'm going to set it to 60. We'll reset it during the course of our game. And then I'm also going to create a variable called time remaining. And I'm going to set that one to 60 as well. Now, both of these will get set throughout the course of our actual code. I just don't want to I don't want to flag anything in our actual our code. So first thing we'll set is our game length. Just like we were doing before, we want to set a random number. We said this is going to be a game length between 20 and 60. So I'm going to put 20 here, and I'm going to put 60 here. Okay. And then now what I've got to do is I got to create a loop that's going to essentially count the time remaining, how much time is left in the game. Okay. Now to do that, we are going to use in sensors, there's a thing called time elapsed. So when we press start, that is going to count from 0 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are going to use that along with our time remaining to count backwards. 40, 39, 38, 37. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to say, okay, time remaining is always going to be equal to however long the game is. So game length minus how much time has gone by. So if the game is 60 seconds long and 10 seconds have gone by, there are 50 seconds left. Okay, and I found that subtraction thing over here in the operators. It says plus, but if you click on that drop down arrow, it becomes a minus. Okay, so that is essentially what's going to be our timer. So keeps track of how much time is left. Now that's going to have to consistently loop through. So it's going to keep on counting down. It's going to keep on updating what that time remaining is. And we're going to use a loop until. So we're going to go into our comparators and we're going to loop that until time remaining is less than 0. Okay, because if time remaining is less than 0, then the game's over. We don't want it going through there anymore. All right. So right now, this is what's going to keep track of our time. It's going to set a random time between 20 and 60. And as long as the time remaining is greater than 0, it's going to count backwards. 39, 38, 37, 36. Okay, so we have the timer part done. Now, if we go into controls, we're going to need to use some if-else statements. Okay, so if something's true, do it in here. Otherwise, jump down to this else statement. Okay, so again, we're going to use a comparator. And we're going to say if time remaining, which is in our variables, is greater than 15, then we want this to be one color. So I'm going to go with green. I'm going to set it to green. Okay. Now, if it is not greater than 15, it's going to jump into this else statement. And so what we have to do now is if it's not greater than 15, we have to check, is it between 5 and 15? So if we go here, we can do another if-else statement inside of that if-else statement. And we can use a comparator to say, okay, if it's not greater than 15, it's going to jump down here. We're going to check, okay, is it greater than 5? And I'm going to change this to greater than 5. Okay. So this section now is going to keep track of when the time is between 5 and 15. This section is going to be greater than 15. So I'm going to add a different color in there. Let's say we'll make it blue. So between 5 and 15 seconds, it should turn blue. And then the else, I am going to make it count down, and we'll say, let's create one. I'm going to go here. And we got 5. And then I'm going to go to control, and I'm going to delay it for 1 second. If I don't put these delays in, then it would just count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 really quickly. So I'm going to say 5 for 1 second. And then I'm going to put another one in here and say 4 for 1 second. And essentially now we're just going through, and we'll do 3, 2, 1. So if I duplicate, and now this animation, I want to add a 3. Whoops. So we'll call that a 3. I'm going to duplicate these. I need a 2. So that'll be my 2, and I'll put a 1 in there as well. Okay, so it's going to count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I am, just for the sake of this, going to tell it to turn red. So my lights should all turn red. And then it should jump out of the program for us. So if I zoom out a little bit, we could go through this one more time. So I've got setting the game length between 20 to 60. My time remaining is in a loop, so it's constantly counting down until it's less than 0. So it's taking the game length and subtracting how much time has gone by. If it's greater than 15, turn green. If it's between 5 and 15, turn blue. And then for the last 5 seconds, we're going to go 5, 4, 3.